Okay, well, Sunday, final day of Game On, wrapping it all up. As you can see, folks clearing it out. We got a game of Napoleonic Wars happening over here.
Russian help.
Right.
Love, fun, really fun game. Around the table, still selling stuff, putting their inventory away. We got a game of Battlestar Galactica, as you would expect. It's kind of a tradition.
At least one side.
Battlestar Galactica happening there. I'll take you downstairs and show you what's happening there. Cleaning up Axis Empires to Taller Krieg. It's a big job. Put it all away. So many cards.
Okay. We're shooting 2 at +2.
Battles with the Gringos happening. Got some PAX Premier, 2nd edition.
The rows count.
Love the production on this one.
It actually says armies.
We got a game of Maria, another game of Maria happening over here.
Is another one going on?
There was one earlier this week. Yeah, let's see. We got just getting started, it looks like. No conflict yet with the...
We've had a little conflict.
Yeah.
Slowly
On the-
rocking.
Yeah, it's a great game. I freaking love it. It looks like the orange is the Bavarians, right? So they're hanging with the French, and it looks like the Hussars are harassing Frederick's army in Silesia. Yeah, the one thing about this game, if you're playing Austria, is you got to play the long game. You know, you could throw it all away early, and if you do, then it's going to be real easy for the Prussians to and the French.
To just hold the line.
Yeah.
He's doing it the Ukrainian way.
Great game. Argent the Consortium cleaning up. They were having fun with that. We got Space Corp happening over here. They're in phase 2. That's the solar system exploration. I got to put away Tunisia, but this is where things ended up. You saw my recap of that last night. Had a great time playing this. Can't wait to continue it. And then we got, looks like Nemesis happening over at this table, which is pretty cool.
So this is just
Love the minis on it.
Just breeders and queens.
We're sharing turns anyway.
So there. And is this the breeder?
Yes.
So he goes out.
Note the escape pods.
Noting the escape pods,
Let
yeah.
me find the breeder. Breeder.
Then move everything.
I want to play this game really badly. All right, let's get downstairs real quick.
All the 3 primaries.
Yes. Battlestar Galactica, the second instance of Battlestar Galactica happening right
For
now.
our group, yeah.
Just setting up. And then, oh boy.
Every time you hand us a green card, you can draw one in its place.
If someone Polish can pronounce that for me, because I certainly cannot. And is there anything in the final room? Any games? Yes, one final game happening down here. Viticulture.
Yeah.
Nice. This has been a popular one this week. I've seen a bunch of games of this happening.
We were playing it yesterday.
Oh.
We're trying to relearn it because it's been
Oh,
years
right.
since we played.
Yeah, okay.
And I got the Tuscany expansion, so we're learning how to use the stars as well.
Oh, cool. The Stonemeyer games love their stars. They use stars and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, we just finished up a learning game. We didn't get through the whole thing of Wars of Religion, 1562, 1598. My first impressions of this game, wow, what absolute comedic chaos. It is it is hilarious. We were laughing so hard around the table at all the stuff that was happening. So we played 2 turns. Took us probably a couple hours, maybe 2 hours. And you can see some of the armies on the map. We finished up the war phase. All of these cubes represent one of the 3 factions. It's a 3-player game about France during the Wars of Religions. You got a royalist player who is allied with the Catholic League player at the beginning of the game against the Huguenots. And then a couple of things will happen, including the St. Bartholomew's Day Massacre, and then a call to arms that will then shift the alliance so that the royalist player ends up teaming up with the Huguenot player against the Catholic League player. We didn't get that far, but that changes some of the Catholic League players' victory conditions and the way they earn money. But essentially what happens in this game is it kind of reminds me a little bit of Westphalia. So every side has a unique deck of personalities from the Wars of Religion, and you're going to select every turn based on when they're available, these cards, and you're going to use their stats for various actions. However, you don't get full control over which card you choose out of your deck. You choose 2, and then your opponent is going to pick from a random assortment of them and then hand them back to you. So you never quite know what you're going to get. which is really fun. It's kind of like a weird drafting thing. And each side has their own unique deck. And then some of the cards, like this one, for example, who has 2 stripes, you can see top stripe red, bottom stripe blue. He actually started as a Catholic League leader and then was convinced to switch sides and join the Royalist faction, which is pretty funny. He was like our main military commander, and I lost control of him. And so this leads into sort of the military phase. After you've done taking these different political actions on the map, each cube is a city. You're trying to control cities. Most factions have victory conditions associated with control of cities, somewhat like coin in some ways. And then you go to a military phase where you have to assign your armies and raise your armies with troops and leaders. But what's interesting is that there's a very strict order and rules about which leaders can be assigned to which armies. And so that leads to things when you're on the faction with an ally where the Royalist player has a huge number of armies that they're able to raise, but the actual Catholic League player has the better leaders who have to command those armies. And so you get this really interesting political dynamic where, you know, you've got an amazing army that the Royalist player wants to use, but they can't because the Catholic League has the commander. You might be going around, that commander might die in a battle or a siege, and then the new leader has to come in, and that changes who gets to control the army. And on top of that, the Catholic League player, who are the red cubes, they actually cannot besiege cities and take control of them themselves. Every city they besiege goes to the Royalist player. And so it actually benefits the Royalist player for the Catholic player to do that. So there's a really interesting, fun dynamic where you would think, oh, 2v1, how does the one player have any sort of hope to win? Well, it's because the 2-player alliance is not, it's fractious. It's not really an alliance. It's much more contentious than you would have you believe. And there are different event cards that you can play. So during the military phase, there's a deck of military tactical cards that each player is going to draw one. They do different things, cause attrition, move further, that kind of stuff. And you're going to go around the map. You're going to have battles. It's a buckets of dice system where armies roll, and you're trying to get 5s and 6s. You can besiege locations to take control and put your cubes down. And then there's a series of random events that can occur every turn. And essentially, by the end of the game, you're trying to be the faction that has written the most treaty points and controls the most cities on the map. And the game can end. Doesn't have to go 6 turns. It can end early. There's some events in the game that will trigger a final game turn. And yeah, it's just really fun and hilarious. And it's like it took us a turn to really figure out what we were doing and how certain decisions can affect other things later in the turn. But we can't wait to play this again. This one is if you like uncontrolled chaos, things like Fief, or I'm trying to think of another game that's got like a sort of like Westphalia is another one that I kind of, or even a little bit like if you like Here I Stand, that kind of game. This one would be one that might appeal to you. Well, I just wanted to take a quick moment and do a little epilogue to this coverage of Game On the final day. Got home, was unloading my loot, as it were, all the games that I ended up picking up at Game On Con. You know I got Thunder in the Ozarks and Stonewall Sword for a great deal. I won Donnerschlag and the Door Prize giveaway. I also bought used from the swap meet 1861, 1867 as a 18XX. Really good, nice package, and I got it for a great price. I'm looking to delve into the 18XX genre a little more, and this one looked really awesome, and I couldn't pass it up. But the one thing I did want to actually add to that was a couple more Via Victus games that I received at the urging of Rob Bados, who I had some great conversations with at the convention, and he was telling me all about, so he's a big tactical gamer, and he really likes Musket and Pike, and he had brought these games and a few others to the convention, and I was looking through them, and it looked really interesting. This is Avec Infini Regret, which is a sort of slimmed-down version of Musket and Pike set during the Wars of Religion. So, you know, think Virgin Queen timeline, Queen Elizabeth, that kind of thing. And it's by Via Victus, and so I'm adding to the Via Victus pile of stuff that I've received recently. And I'm pretty happy to own these. They're very beautiful. I love the cover art here of this this battle, these horsemen and this pike block. Just a really cool like artistic presentation, and you know it's Via Victus, so you know that the counters are glorious. As you can see, we've got some double thickness counters here. The maps are going to be the same style as what you would find in Jour de Gloire, same artist, I believe. But he was saying that it's a really nice way to play Musket and Pike, very slimmed down version of the rules. I think it's only 12 pages, and each of these folios comes with, I believe, a game or two. So this one comes with actually 3 battles. And this is the second volume, and the third volume comes with Mon Contour from 1569, which is pretty neat. There is a volume 1 that has been out of print for a long time. It's on the hunt for it. If you know where I might be able to get a copy of Avec Infini Regret, volume 1, that'd be great. And then I know there's a couple of other battles in Via Victus magazine editions over the years. I'm going to try and hunt those down. And then there's a continuation of this series, which is Avec Honneur et Panache, which was more recent, but I'm having trouble finding that one as well. Anyways, I just wanted to point this out. As, you know, the haul from Game On, trying to go game negative from the convention, and I wound up game positive. Well, I guess that's the way it goes, right? So I'm excited to dig into these. I'm actually, the reason I bring this up is because I actually want to give you a little preview of what I've been working on in the solo game room right now. So I'm going to come over here and show you that I decided that I was going to give Jour de Gloire, also from Via Victus, this package here, another go, just to see how much I liked it as far as Napoleonic games go. And I'm sort of halfway, about halfway through the Rivoli scenario of Jour de Gloire. I'll have some coverage and some thoughts on this game soon, but you can see kind of some of the counters I was pushing around before Game On. And then if we come to the other table, still working on BCS Aracourt. I have played a few turns of this solo, the full breadth of the map. Gonna have some coverage on this. It's been slow recently just because I've been busy, but I hope to get through this game solo. Started doing some video on it. So I just want to give a quick final wrap up to Game On. It was a great time. I'm really looking forward to playing more OCS. I forgot how much I love that system, and getting down into the nitty-gritty of Tunisia was a lot of fun. Picked up some great games. Can't wait to play Blind Swords and some Musket and Pike. Finally learned that system. So there's a lot of great stuff happening in my game room right now, and I just need to find the time to play it all. So anyways, thanks for watching the coverage this weekend. Thanks for all your comments. Thanks for, you know, talking to me about games and so forth, and I can't wait to do it again at the next convention I'm going to, which I'm not sure what that'll be, but I might be at the GMT Warehouse weekend in April. We'll see how that goes. I'll see you in the next video.